Oklahoma Lady Force, your WXFL champions, and you're watching Major League Minor.
Hello and welcome to Major League Minor, the only show that gives you scores, highlights, and news from all three leagues. This is a huge week for semi-pro football in the state of Oklahoma. We're going to talk a little bit about a championship game that happened this weekend, a game that's coming up this week that has championship ramifications, and playoffs. We're going to dive right into the WXFL. You'll notice the ladies from the Oklahoma Force ladies football team were on our opener this morning, or this afternoon actually. The Oklahoma Force won its WXFL championship by a score of 20-0 against the Ponca City Bulldogs. This is the first championship for Coach Dennis Albert in his 8-year tenure as head coach. Now from this, there's been a lot of interest also for new and upcoming teams across Oklahoma that might try to have a strong ladies competition for next year. We'll have to see how it goes, but in the meantime, congratulations to the Oklahoma Force ladies football team. Outstanding job. Now we're going to dive into the men's XFL for just a moment. This is going to be the XFL semifinals in their playoffs game. The first game that we're going to talk about are the Green Country Phoenix. They're traveling to the Oklahoma Nightmare in Velma. That game kicks off at 3 o'clock. The tickets are $5 for adults, $3 for students, and 10 and under are free. Now, we're going to a little recap from last week. The Nightmare had an auto advance going into this week. The Green Country Phoenix, however, pulled a huge upset against the Oklahoma Territorial Desperados. Only the Green Country Phoenix knew that they were actually going to win that game last week. I picked them to lose, and sure enough, the Desperados blamed me for it. Oh well, I'll be the patsy. So they won 18-0 against the Desperados. The Desperados laid a big goose egg. It was at your home turf and your home field. You lay a goose egg, you can't blame the Dodson. So this week, I'm going to have to go with the Nightmare at home, though. Even though I think the Green Country Phoenix actually do have what it takes to possibly pull an upset, I'm going to give a 7-point favorite to the Nightmare. Going on into the second game. Another surprise from last week was the Oklahoma Force beating the Chargers by a score of 24-0. A little controversy to that game. It was supposed to be kicked off at 3 o'clock. For some reason, it kicked off at 6 o'clock. And there were some backstories back and forth of he said, and who knows, but they actually got the game off at 6. Force come away with the win, 24-0. The Cougars, they blew away the Elite, 47-8. Not much to say. You're going to go to the Cougars' home field, and they show that they belong in the championship game by a score of 47-8. It's hard to argue. So getting into the second game here, the Oklahoma Force are traveling all the way up to Rose Hill, Kansas. This Saturday, it's going to be kicked off at 3:30. Now tickets are $7 for adults. Make sure you get there in plenty of time. Bring a cooler, have some fun, watch a little bit of football. My prediction for this game now, Kansas comes up with a 14-point difference. I think they win it at home. It just depends on how well the Force travel and how they do. Now let's get along to the CFL. CFL are now in their first round of playoffs. Now they have two brackets that they have for their playoffs this year. They're going to have an American and a national bracket. So let's dive into the American bracket. Number 8, your Kansas City Saints, with a record of 3-7, going to be facing off against the Joplin Crusaders at home. Now Joplin, the number 1 team in all of AA football last year, coming into this 10-0, number 1 in the CFL. I picked them to be a 21-point favorite. Easy call there. The last time that these two met during the season, the Crusaders beat them 54-6. So it's hard to argue that the Joplin Crusaders shouldn't win this game on their worst day and the Saints' best day, but we'll have to see. It is football. It is playoff football. Now, this game is going to be played in Joplin, and you have a chance to win $25,000 if you go to attend that game. So make sure you show up there, bring a little bit of cash, enjoy a little bit of football. It's a great stadium. Kickoff is at 6:30. Give yourself a little bit of time to get there beforehand, because if you have a chance to win some money, there's going to be a lot of people there. Moving on to the Guardians and Reckoning game. Now the Guardians, the Arkansas Guardians, coming into this 6-4, ranked number 5th in the league, face off against number 4, the River Valley Reckoning. Now when these two last met up, the score was 24-21. The Reckoning won it, and it was in Bacola also. So I'm going to have to give it the same. I'm going to have to say 3-point difference to the Reckoning in Bacola. Moving along to the national bracket. So we have the Queen City Grizzlies facing off against the Enid Enforcers. Now, Queen City has they've done pretty decent so far this year coming out of Springfield. They're 500 at 5-5 right now. When these two teams last met, it was a pretty hard-fought game, and it was an Enid. Enid won 11-8. Enid coming into this one number 2 in the CFL with the record of 8-2. I'm going to have to give this one a 3-point favorite to Enid at home. I think they could be able to pull away with this one. It's going to be a tough battle. In Enid at 6:30 is going to be the kickoff. Tickets are $7 for adults. Kids 10 and under free. Go out and enjoy some more good football right there. It's going to be a tough game. Now for our final game for the playoffs here, we're looking at the Rose Hill Zombies facing off at the Northwest Arkansas Battle in Springdale. Kickoff is at 5 o'clock. They haven't met this year. It's a real tough one to gauge and to see, except for Rose Hill with a record of 4-4-2. Northwest Arkansas Battle 7-3 at home. I'm going to give this one a 14-point favorite for the Northwest Arkansas Battle. Now to recap from last week, you see some scores up here. The Northwest Arkansas Battle defeated the Queen City Grizzlies by a score of 17-8. The Joplin Crusaders, they wrecked the heck out of the Zombies. They blew their heads off by a score of 70-6. In the final game, the River Valley Reckoning came away with a win against the Kansas City Saints, 20-18. Now that one's a tough game in itself, but these are some really good matchups going into these playoffs, and there's playoff reasons for a reason. Now when we come back, we're going to talk about the biggest game in all of semi-pro coming right up.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, buddy.
Whoa! You know you can't bring that weak-ass stuff up in this Humpty Bumpy. You killed it, Joe. You make some more. You know that, baby. Else you're in for a long day. A long day. Cause Triple T's up in this bitch!
Some people said I was crazy when I brought Terry on board, but I'm a firm proponent of paradigm breaking, outside-the-box thinking. And since Terry's been with us, our productivity has gone up 46%.
Break was over 15 minutes ago, bitch! I am an enforcer, man. Don't nothing go down in my house. It's 100% hard, baby. Sure, I jack a few fools. I give them the pain. But sometimes it's about intimidation, you know. It's mind games.
So, I'll see you later.
Check razor! Check razor! Get ready for the pain, woman! The pain train is coming! It's in there! Please don't hurt me! Please don't hurt me! Thank you, Terry! Thank you, God!
But what's really impressed me is how Terry's become part of the Felcher family. He fits right in here.
Surprise,
kid! Happy birthday!
As profits increase, the margin reaches a second break-even point here, after which enterprise falls into loss. Any questions? You know you need a cover sheet on your TPS reports, Richard. That ain't new, baby.
Hey, Terry.
Hey, Janice. Motherfucker.
That's not to say that Terry's gone soft. He still does what he does best.
That's a long distance call, Doug.
Of course, the office environment is, in fact, a violent world, and injuries do occur.
Hi, Terry.
Hey, Dana. Oh, no! God. Oh. Playing hurt? Baby, that don't faze me. I don't got time for pain. The only pain I got time for is the pain I put on fools who don't know what time it is. Any bitch-ass thing I done lost a step because of what happened? Because of what happened to my knee and such? Well, he in for a surprise. A rude, painful surprise! Yeah!
To be honest, I wish I had 10 Terry Tates on Team Felcher.
I just do my job, man. I do what my God-given abilities allow me to do, and I thank Jesus Christ for it every single day. And do I enjoy what I do? Hell yeah. These ain't your pens, Richard! These pens belong in my house! You can't come in my kitchen and kick my dog and take a box full of ballpoints! Your ass must be crazy!
And welcome back. And welcome back to Dotson's Kitchen, where I'm cooking up some great scores, highlights, and predictions. Now we're getting into the GDFL. The Lawton Hellcats have a bye week, so we're going to dive right into the best game, part one, all season long, all year long. It doesn't get any better than this when it comes to semi-pro football. That's the number 1 Oklahoma City Bounty Hunters facing off against the number 3 Oklahoma Thunder. Now this game will be played in Bixby. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock, but make sure you get there a little bit early because it brings some cash too. You have a shot at winning a car. There's not too many football games you can actually win a car at. Now, getting back to the Bounty Hunters and Thunder game, these two last met in 2013. They had to take a year off because of how heated the rivalry got. But that last game, the Thunder ran away with the win with a score of 35-28. A very tight game into the fourth quarter. You can expect the same type of game this weekend. Now, Tulsa does lead the series 3-2, and it started way back in 2012 when then the Oklahoma City Diamondbacks, fresh off of its third straight championship in the Oklahoma Metro Football League, got up to Tulsa, and of course Tulsa having won 30 straight World Championship leagues, or excuse me, 3 straight World League championships, got shocked by the Diamondbacks in Tulsa at home 43-20. And since then it's been back and forth. The only other team to beat Tulsa at home was the Dallas Anarchy last season in the playoffs. It doesn't happen very often. They're a great team, and so are the Bounty Hunters. Now, I'm not going to make a prediction on this game because it's just going to be way too close. There's too many elements involved. The Thunder are stacking up some really good D1 players from this week alone. You can follow that on the news page as well. The Bounty Hunters also are getting themselves ready. There's a possibility that might be a player or two missing out, some key impact players. We'll have to see as the game, or actually the week, unfolds here. So I can't give a prediction, but I will tell you that it's going to be the best game in semi-pro football. This is as close as it gets to the NFL without actually being in the NFL. Get out there. Seats are only, I believe, $10 out at Bixby. Get a chance to win a car. Go have some fun. Watch some great football. It's live in Bixby, like I say. Get on out there, folks. Get out there early. There's no reserve seats. It's all general admission. Go watch some football. And until next time, I'm Chris Dotson.